Oh. Cut.
You in trouble?
Welcome back to the art of ramp. Today we're setting up a mini ramp. We're going to show you how it's done. As you can see, we got everything pre-cut here. We're going to show you how we put it together now. The thing we got going on is popping some holes in the coping. I know I've talked about this before in other videos, but I'm using a 3/16 pilot bit. Check it out. I'm going to go through both pieces of the coping. Then I'm going to circle back with a 3/8 and pop a hole just in the top. Alright, so when I use my extension bit, it's going to grab the inside pilot hole, pull tight to our mini ramp. This is how it's done. Got this nice rig here too, as you can see. Here's the first one, here's the second one. Boom. Switch bits. Another pocket. Here's that 3/8 I was talking about. And on an 8-foot wide ramp, just putting 4 holes in. That's it. Paint it. Alright. Next thing I did, took the grinder, cleaned up the edges. I also took this nice bastard rasp. That's right, I said bastard rasp. And cleaned up all the holes, no spurs. You can take your hand and you test it out, literally with your bare finger. Make sure there's nothing there. It's gonna hurt anyone who's ever riding this ramp. Prepping paint with steel wool. Nice coarse grit here, rubbing it down, getting the oil off the coping that came with it. It's gonna make for a better paint job. And we're going purple on this ramp. Back of a can of spray paint, 30 seconds, shake it for. Yes, I am holding up the deck with my head right now. Check this out. We got blocks underneath here. This is how we kind of space our ramps. Yep, still holding the ramp up with my head though. How you doing, Adam?
Well.
So we got our base in, measuring it off the existing house to get it square with the property. Flat bottoms up, time to start framing up some quarter pipes right here. We're building a replica of the 3rd layer mini ramp today. So 7.5 foot radiuses and about 32 inches tall. All right, next thing's up. We got it framed up, got the quarter pipe templates framed up. 2 screws in each, 2x4, 3 screws in each 2x6. Looking good. Now time to start leveling it and tie it all together. As you can see, we got a good base level going. Now we're just digging out the yard, leveling the blocks so the blocks aren't actually at a slope. And this is pretty much the most pain in the butt part of building a ramp, is just getting a good level base. Really spent a lot of time trying to get those blocks all flat. We got them all shimmed up, but I'm cutting some studs and I'm gonna fill in and tie it all together. Spanning 8-foot gaps here just to keep prices down during COVID. We've been putting a little support every other right there to give it a little pressure when we tie in all our plywood and stuff. It should be nice and tight, no bounce in there. Another thing that's crucial to your outdoor ramp is a 1/4 inch gap spacing between your plywood. All right, we're just using a little birch cutoff, as you can see right there, and nice big gaps for expansion and contraction. Now if you're using an outdoor surface, you're not going to need to do that stuff, but if you're using plywood, you're definitely going to want to do that on your underlayments. That's it for now. How we doing, Adam? So moving right along, as you can see, Adam using that chalk line to find all those studs, never missing a screw. If you look underneath any ramp that Adam and I build, there'll never be a screw exposed out there. Every single screw hits. You should shoot for that too. Putting the decks on here, gonna put a little stabilizer in there eventually. And then the one thing we haven't talked about is squaring your ramp, and that is essentially making it so this overlap here, see, we got a fingernail, so we cut the boards. You never know with the plywood you get, or so we just cut 94.5, and the plywood looks to be a little thinner than 3/4, typical of American made wood at this point. Sorry, America. But yeah, we got fingernail overhang. It's completely consistent across the whole ramp, so that's how we know we're squared. We're pushing, we're pulling, we're screwing it into place nice and level. And again, level is right in that bubble. All right, not to the left side of the line, right side. It's right in the middle. That is level. And when you're working with something here that's 26 feet long, all the level matters for sure. All right, so second layer done, easy. I think we've been working on this ramp for about 4 hours and we're on to surfacing. So usually takes us about 6 to 8 hours depending on how much leveling needs to be done, but something we haven't covered about is what we're using. We're using 2 layers of 3/8 inch plywood. We're doing 1 on the deck and then surface over everything. And we're doing 1 5/8 Torx head screws for the plywood, and for the surface we're going to use 2 inchers, get a real deep grip on there. Adam and I were setting up another one of these ramps, so if you have any questions about building mini ramps that we don't cover in this video, we'll answer all those questions next week. Coming together real nice here. Just a little bit about our spacing. Put about 5 screws on the first layer, 6 screws on the second, and 9 rows of screws on the surface, every foot on center. All right, so then I'm using this Diablo, hope you can see that, V-grooving bit, bought from Home Depot. And I'm pretty much just putting 1 second with a little bit of pressure for each hole. Some are deeper than others, some are lighter, depending if there's a knot, the quality of wood, all that stuff. And that's how we're countersinking each individual hole. Sorry if this is blurry, I cannot see anything, and enjoy. All right, so we got done with the ramp here, and we'll expose it again, but it started sprinkling, so we quickly threw on the cover, and it's called a EPDM rubber roofing membrane roofing kit. Right there is the title. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's good stuff, nice and thick. I always encourage you, doesn't matter where your ramp is, get a good quality cover for it. This is the best you can get, and I'll show you some tips on installing this as well. And then we'll show you the final product. So here we go, we got the, you can see how we roll it up. Maybe in the next ramp we'll actually show a lot, we'll do a little video about that, but the mat just kind of rolls up on top of each other. Here's the finished product. Ramp turned out amazing, 10 feet of flat, about 2 foot 8 inches tall, 7.5 foot radius.